James, how are you?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I
I
am
tell you,
good.
it's been. I've already spoken to you once since the
Since
last
since I've been
episode.
home. I know.
Really, I know
I
we
know
said
it
keep it. We did say we'll keep it low key,
unique. Yeah.
unique. So it's like but yeah, yeah. But no, how you doing,
In
man?
fairness, yeah, well, back offshore again next week. That is just under 3 weeks since we last spoke. Did a podcast episode.
Really?
But yeah, it is. Time flies. A lot gone on since
Well,
then. Today,
yeah.
actually, you know what? Today feels like a hell of a lot's gone on. I know what we're recording this on the 20th.
Geopolitics. Yeah.
Yeah, geopolitics wise, 28th of April. I'm not sure when this will go out, probably second week of May. I'll put it out.
Well,
Um,
it'll just have happened.
uh, yeah, but UAE is the big one. I think. I think
Yeah.
that's bigger than BP because I know
Oh, yeah.
I don't think BP is much of a surprise. In all honesty, I'm expecting the rest to follow a similar suit, but UAE is a big one,
Big time.
and
But well, yeah.
is that the
So,
sign of something happening at OPEC?
oh yeah, definitely. No, but it's not been, it's not, okay, it is news, but it's not news. The UAE have been battling in OPEC for years, especially with Saudi,
Mm.
because the UAE are, I think they're stifled at 3 million a day, 3 million and a bit barrels
Yeah,
a day, and they think they can do 5 million.
yeah,
So because they've always had this issue with Saudi, because Saudi with the 7 million a day, and they've been at war with them over the past in the past. They've actually physically been at war. So I think they've using this turmoil in the Gulf to say, kind of like fuck it, let's jump ship now. We're not producing anything anyway,
no,
so we're not at all disturbing OPEC's production. So if we're ever going to want to run and jump, now's the time.
yeah, because obviously when everything comes kind of back online, they're still gonna have the same OPEC restrictions in on place, are they? But I think, yeah, I wonder if there'll be more to follow. That's what I wonder.
Well, what's going to happen? If they, let's say they do pull out, which they probably will, they're going to probably now. Then that's going to be what's going to be the main thing. People are going to want oil quickly and more of it.
Yeah,
So, are they going to be able to ramp up? Only way they'll be able to ramp up is if the Hormuz Straits opens up,
yeah,
because their pipeline to Fujairah does 1 million and a bit a day. I was actually doing a bit of research. So I was wondering, well, why the hell wouldn't they bro up oil? No, the schmo bros come together and make a pipeline, you know. And so they've got the one that goes down the south, the Saudi, I can't remember what it's called, the Saudi Southern Pipeline or something.
yeah,
And then there's another one that runs from Qatar. There's 3 or 4 of them that runs towards Libya. Erbil, I think it is. Not Libya, Syria.
yeah,
But they only do like 1 million a day, and a couple of them are actually, I think, are shut in at the moment. But I went and I was Googling, I was looking at every possible variable of what could they do, even
yeah,
to the point of what's the closest point are of the two pipelines to each other that the UAE could splice in. I know it's a bit more than that, but splice in and get into that pipeline so they could basically use that southern, if the Saudis had let them.
yeah,
And they are anywhere from 100 kilometers to 340 kilometers from their border so they'd have to go across the hidden quarter between 100 and 340, depending on which direction they went, and they could splice into that pipeline. And then that way they could have another route to divert oil. Another thing I got stuck into, if the Iranians really want to cause a shitstorm, Let's see if you can see this.
It shows. By the way, just before we move too far away from UAE, I noticed ADNOC actually got an LNG tanker out. It went dark on March the 30th, made it out of the Strait of Hormuz, and it's now off the, was it the west or the east of India? So they got an LNG tanker out.
Can you see? Can you see?
Yeah. Your
I
map.
don't know how good. You don't know how good you can see it.
No, it's too bright. Your
That camera's. Okay, let me go to this other one. This camera's driving me nuts. Come here.
Who wants to follow you?
Okay, I don't know if you can see this or not.
No, your brightness is it's too bright. Can't see anything.
It isn't. Hang on a minute. This is worth a look.
Should you just put it on share screen?
On my phone.
No, on the laptop.
Can't see shit, can you?
See it. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, okay, I'll send it to you. Let me send it to you.
You'll have to.
And you can at least know what. Yeah, I will explain it. I will, but I'll just you can have a look at it. Then I'll explain what it is.
Right, send away. Right, I'm in.
Okay.
Why?
That's all the fiber optic data lines that are running.
I was reading something about this the other day.
If Iran wants to really do some damage,
yes,
it's
they're incredibly important as well. Yes,
big time.
Yes.
They shut down. They've shut down from Asia, from Europe, because they go down the Suez Canal, up through past Aden, then into the Gulf. If they trolled up some of them data lines, that would. I mean, that Dubai is now what is it? Oil capital, and it's just also this safe haven. They're playing that, like with the safe cryptocurrency hub and safe haven AI center of the world, and Iran could drag all that up in one go.
One cable, one strong anchor pull, and that would be enough.
I tell you what, it'd be worth throwing that image up when you edit it.
Yeah, I will actually, and I will put it on one of the posts as well. Here is some fascinating things about this Iran war. The World Bank has now said the energy prices could jump to 24% this year.
Energy, as in like the price of oil, or energy at home?
Just energy in general. It's saying here.
So that would be what, $30 a barrel more,
pretty much. Well, they reckon. Well, they're saying 115 is probably going to be what it's going to sit at if things escalate anymore.
I know they're selling just now off, like, if that's the spot price or whatever. But there's people who've got tankers full now and they're selling there for 145 a day, 145 a barrel.
Well, what's Brent at? Brent's at 111 at the moment. I wonder what it'll be up by the time we release this. Like, so this could be actually totally irrelevant. It might be. It could be up in the 50s by then.
Yeah, something's got to happen.
Another thing as well, actually, is worth putting in that renewables is now overtaking coal globally for the first time in 100 years.
Including China?
Yeah, just in general, I think it's just right across the world. By the way, I saw a coal diagram the other day. China uses mad amounts. 55% of the world's coal is burnt by China.
Aye. It is ironic for the company that makes all the recyclable stuff.
They are using mad amounts of coal, like unbelievable amounts. And India's
build all the solar panels.
I know.
They build all the renewable kits. All them. They've got a good plan.
They know what they're doing. India's following as well. India's following.
They've managed to get the West hooked on this fucking woke shite.
Yeah, they know what
they're not using it.
No, they know.
And they're going to start. They'll be buying. They're like drive the price of coal down to pennies.
Yeah.
And make it uncool to use it.
Yeah, and then they'll
use it all, and they'll sell us all their stuff they're building. What a great business model!
They know what they're doing. And they know exactly what they're doing, don't they?
I think they're Cockneys, aren't they? Really, Asian Cockneys.
Anyway, let's talk about drilling. What's happening in the drilling world? Because I'm not a driller, as you know.
What's happened this
What's,
week? Driller,
what is happening?
I think there's a couple of new contracts were, I think, West Neptune and the West Vela have got 400 days each in the Gulf of Mexico drill ships for LLOG. I think LLOG and LLOG is interested. I didn't know this till I read the piece I read it on Driller Shack, I think, so I wrote it. So I must have read it at some point. LLOG is owned by Harbour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're either owned or they're JV, and Harbour's got one of the main stakes. I think what happened was when the North Sea went tits up, licensing, they decided, okay, we need to get involved with something in the Gulf or something international. And they partnered up with LLOG out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What do you call it? Speaking of buying things, I was just there. I wanted to double check the name. What about Shell going after? Was it ARC? Is it ARC Energy in Canada?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're buying them.
I tell you what, it's JV Central at the moment, isn't it?
It's going mad. They must all be just buying them. They know something that we all don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at where we're at now, right? We've just got a little smidgen, 20% has been taken off, and the world's in turmoil. They're thinking they're not actually in turmoil yet, but the knock-on effect's going to start happening shortly. But their minds are imagining situations that haven't happened yet, and it's all doom and gloom. So that's only 6 weeks of closure. What happens if that stays closed for a year? I mean, Iran are not just going to open up.
No. But they must be struggling themselves in some way, because ultimately they're losing money from this. I mean, they're not getting as much out, are they?
Yeah, but Russia, China, don't tell me they're not helping them out. They've got a higher threshold for pain than us.
Yes, that's 100% true. Yeah. We're totally reliant on them.
Yeah,
on that, just on other, just
their mentality. They'll die for things.
Yeah,
for their beliefs. I don't know many Brits that are gonna go and jump into a pub with a suicide vest on because the local vicar just lost his job. It's not happening, is it?
No, it's not. Do you think Trump? I can't work out what's going on with Trump. I wonder if you couldn't say he's having a midlife crisis. He's having a mid-70s crisis, but he's totally lost it, has he? I think he has totally just lost it a bit now. In the way
Why? What?
Well, 1 second he's on about how there's going to be a ceasefire. And we're doing all this, and we're gonna, basically we're coming really close to negotiations. Then they're gonna send people over. Then Iran turn around and say, no, they're not sending people over because we're not interested in going back to the table. Yeah. No, and then he's, do you know what I mean? And you're just like,
he says everything. He throws everything, every piece of shit out the wall.
Yeah,
and some of it'll stick. Then he can say it's right.
Yeah, broken clock's right twice a day, isn't it? It's one of them, isn't it? Like, I just think he's gone a bit Delali, but at the same time, I know he's not a stupid person. So there's obviously something going on.
But to be like that, you've got
to be mad, haven't you?
You don't give a fuck.
No.
To say the stuff he knows he's lying. It's like 1,000's not a big enough number. It's 100. No, it's 1,000 thousands.
Yeah.
It's like really a lot of thousands, It's like everything's like it's.
There's a lot of good guys over there. A lot of them are my friends. I know them very well. They like me a lot over there.
They like him. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah,
he's a good friend of mine.
They love me. They love me.
They love me. Yeah. He I don't know. I don't know, mate. Like, at the end of the day, the Americans are obviously benefiting from this now because LNG and whatnot. Like he says, America's open for business to sort all this out. So you wonder if it's one of them really, where he's done this to kind of just get a bit of fucking more.
Hey, if he's your cup of tea, and he's your party. You believe in what he wants. Why wouldn't you want a leader like that?
Well, that's it.
You know, why wouldn't you want someone if you want someone screaming for what you believe in, and you believe in him? Damn, he's your man.
Yeah, I know.
Look at Starmer. What a
I know. Mate, that boy is getting away with
that's an embarrassment.
everything,
That's an embarrassment.
isn't he? He just keeps getting away with it, like.
But I don't. Yeah, I think he'll get Epstein before long.
Man, well, the Manderson thing, obviously, the MPs rejected him today. He's getting a more investigation into it or whatever it was. I kind of lose.
No, they voted no. They voted no to not investigate.
That's what I mean. They rejected the investigation. And
it's
you're just
really
like,
weird.
He's a cat with 9 lives.
Isn't it really weird how the Labour Party used to be Neil Kinnock, down pit, going for a pint, fucking blah 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 blah. And the Botty boys were all Conservatives.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Now, all the Botty boys have moved over to Labour, and the Conservatives are still Botty boys. It's like, what happened to that? What happened to the left for the working man? You know,
ideology happened, mate. Ideology.
Yeah, but Labour. What does Labour stand for now?
I don't know. Whoever funds it, whoever the people that fund it want. So someone who keeps popping up on my LinkedIn actually is Dale Vince, and you can clearly tell Ed and Dale must speak quite a lot. Like I say, I don't actually dislike Dale Vince. I don't believe it. I don't believe in the same thing as he does, obviously. But I think he donates. Something like 5 million.
I'll tell you what. He would not have the bollocks to come on here and speak to me and you.
I don't know. I think he would. Honestly, I think he would, because
there you go.
He's actually quite good at speaking. The only problem is I've noticed recently is he's kind of saying the same thing over and over again, and what he's doing is he's putting oil and gas in the same bracket, and basically saying,
I'm gonna throw up my safety glove and throw a glove down and get Dave and Eddie baby to come on the show and let's have a foursome.
No, you'd never get Ed on. I don't think you'd ever get Ed on. I think Dale would be a difficult one. He's too popular, and he's too much of a...
like Johnny Rotten. I think it looks like John Lydon. Public Image Days.
Oh wow. Anyway, what I have got though is our favourite.
No.
Let me get the share the screen. Here you go. Can you see my screen now? Can you see it?
Oh my God, there it is. Yes, I can see it.
There she is. So what have we got left? We've got worst experience, worst/best company. Did we do something like that before?
Yeah, we did. No, best company.
Did we?
I think we did. I can't remember.
No, we didn't. We did bosses. Sorry. And
bosses, yeah.
your biggest regret/fuck up.
Oof,
Are you ready?
Yeah, go on. Jesus Christ, I haven't got a clue here.
Oh no. Oh shit.
What does that say? I can't see it.
Biggest regret/fuck up.
Biggest regret. Okay, you can go first this time. I go first. I was first last week.
Oh fuck, I like when you go first. It gives me time to think.
That's what I was thinking as well. So what is it? It's biggest regret / or fuck up.
Basically, yeah. So basically, what's your biggest fuck up or what's your biggest regret that you've done offshore? Fuck.
No, it's biggest regret or biggest... I could do a fuck up easy. Fuck up. It's a close call, actually.
I've got one, but I don't know if it's smart to say on a podcast. Maybe tailor it so it don't get myself in trouble.
Go on, go for it. Fill your boots, son.
So I'm not going to mention names of companies or anything like that, obviously, because it was kind of kept in-house, offshore, shall we say, as you do. And I'm not going to mention the country either, because it will narrow it down to pretty much...
Norway.
No, we were doing a decommissioning job snubbing, hydraulic workovers, and obviously we've been on here for a wee while. I went out the first trip and there was a valve lineup for going overboard and going into the, what do they call that thing at the top? Oh God, I can't even remember the name of it. It's not a trip. What is it when you put? No, you know when you're keeping the head on the top of. Fuck, I can't even remember the name of it.
Trip tank.
Well, it's not really a trip. Is it a trip tank? No, because the trip tank's back of the other
trip
way.
tank keeps the hole full.
Yeah, okay, it is then. Sorry. I couldn't even remember half the names. It's been years since I was doing it. Anyway, trip tank. So basically it was a really shitty setup in fairness. But when I left, one of the valves was water and the other valve was diesel. I'm just gonna say it because we've gone now. Right. It was a really bad lineup. It should have been changed, but it was never changed. Anyhow, so we were topping over with were we topping it over with diesel? Yeah, we were. We were putting diesel over. I can't mind why. What the fuck? I can't anyway, that doesn't matter. So anyway, went home, came back out, and new supervisor out, new crew pretty much actually. It was they'd been bringing boys over from other countries. Anyway, and they said, right, we're going overboard. Open up the valve for the water and dump it over the board. So I went to what was labelled as the water valve originally. Obviously, no one had relabeled it since whatever. Went to the overboard, opened up overboard, went to open up the water valve, opened that, and I basically got screamed over the radio, shut the valve. So I was like, oh shit, right, shut the valve in for the water, shut the valve in for the overboard. And the OIM, the supervisor, and one of the production techs or production supers came back up covered in diesel. Yeah. Oof. Covered in diesel. And mate, you could smell them coming up the stairs from a mile away anyway, put it that way.
But were you in like production mode or well test or anything like that?
No, it was decommissioning.
Okay, right. You said decom,
yeah. It was decom. And yeah, they came up and they were soaked in it. And obviously a bit had gone over the side because it was an overside.
I tell you what, just a pint of diesel looks bad in water.
Yeah, I know. And the supervisor went fucking nuts. And I went to him and I said, mate, that's the water valve. He went, no, what the fuck? I was screaming his head off, going nuts, left, right, and centre. Right. Anyway, walked off to cool down. The OIM, fair play to him, and the production tech, they were pretty good about it. Anyway, nothing much more got mentioned. But the supervisor was raging, and I went over and I said to him, look, mate, that was the initial valve for the water, and no one's relabeled these or anything like that. And he went, oh, it wasn't a good idea, was it? I went, well, it was
your fault, though.
How was I supposed to know? Well, anyway.
Yeah, you were the valve operator, but...
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, that's one of them. That's the first one that's come to my head, actually.
But you just go, we'll keep this going, because about 3 came to mind as you were talking. And
there you go. That's why I've got to wait now and think of another one. Offshore work can take its toll, both physically and mentally. This episode is sponsored by Elite 360X. They have created the Vital 30 program. This is a structured program designed specifically for offshore workers. I can vouch for it as I have used it myself, and I found it really ideal over the last few months while being offshore, while training, while eating. It tracks your fitness, your nutrition, your habits, and your recovery, and it's all built around your normal offshore life. Please check out Elite 360 in the episode description. And if you're enjoying, liking, following the show, thank you so much for your support. If you're not, then get subscribing and following. Let's get back to it.
Okay, we could do talks about diesel. I was just not long roughneck. In fact, I was first trip roughnecking. Very first trip. I was on the Motor Choice Alpha, and we were running in the hole with slimline fishing gear, like 3-inch collars, 4-inch so many different sizes of BHA. It wasn't funny. We had the rig floor was full of slips, dog collars, and elevators, single joint pickups.
Yeah, fucking
for everything. It was just, and it's a small rig floor. This shit was everywhere, and none of it was color coded. It was all red, rented kit, or was it was orange. It was Petco fishing gear, and we were laying out the 3.5-inch collars. And I always remember now, Dave the Scouse was on the tugger. Derek would always work the tugger. Okay, that was like, whenever you were going out the hole sideways or whatever, Derek was on the tugger, and me and the boys, me and another, two roughnecks, were on the floor. And I was really new, like, really new. And, well, breaking the collars out, and we had a lifting nubbin onto a big upset, and we were putting them in the mouse hole, throwing the slingle joint pickups underneath the lifting nubbin, and the lifting nubbin had an ID and then a bigger OD.
Yeah.
Okay, so they would latch underneath the big OD, and putting them out the door. So we were doing. So the first collar went out. We had all these rousties. I remember it was one of us other Chileans working in the North Sea. There was a bunch of the Chilean mafia was on the pipe deck.
How the hell did they end up in the North Sea?
I don't know. There was a bunch of them come over. I don't know. It was that time when they're all good lads. Some of them they all met Aberdeen women and married them and had little Chile Aberdenians. I guess they're all still there.
Chiledonians.
Felt like Jose.
Who's your dues one?
Yeah. Anyway, so Juan and Jose and Jose B are down on the catwalk, and we're pushed. You could push these collars out on your own. They were that light. They weren't heavy. Just Derek honks up out the mouse hole, and you just push them out the door. Down it went. So we laid one of these out. Gets pulled back up. Derekman's doing something with that set of pickups, and then I'm breaking out something, and it's just mayhem. And with that, I get a call from the AD. He's like, "Jimmy, come and give me a hand." Says, "Get the single joints." So I get the single joint pickups that are hanging over the tugger that we'd just been using, slaps them on this little 4-foot pup that he wanted to take the dimensions of, and as we slapped it on it, me and him then used just human force and pulled the little pup joint round the back of the pipe, and he did his measurement. And so then I walked back onto the rig floor, and there's the Derrickman, and now they've got another collar in the mouse hole. He's like, "That hook on the single joints." So I look over and see this set of single joints hanging off the tugger. So I just go straight over to him, hooks them in, slaps them round puts a pin in, tells him to pick up, and it picked the single joint right out the mouse hole. The correct single joints were on the other piece of gear, still with the AD. What happened was it picked up, they were like an inch too big. So they should have. What happened was I picked it up on the upset of the nubbing. So it came all the way out the V-door. So when I went to push it, it centered the nubbing and the single joint that were too big. And the collar just hit the deck right between my legs. And the AD was one of these guys that was always dicking around. I'm like, "Come on, Dave, pick up." And with that, we both look up, and there's the single joint pickups have now gone past terminal velocity. They're heading to the crown. the wires all coming around the deck, and there's the collar is now on the rig floor.
Oh,
Just
no.
it's like it sat there for, it was like it was slow motion for hours, and we just screamed, going out, and the driller's coming down with the blocks to pick up the next one, and then all of a sudden we actually had a V door on there, and the V door was open, fully open, bar about a foot. What happened was the collar flexed, and the pin end shot into the V door. Didn't go right out the V door, down the ramp, down the catwalk, the actual V door. We actually had a door. It jammed into the door, and now it's coming down, and we're obviously scattered off the rig floor. Everyone's scattered. It comes down, hits the drilling line, bounces off the traveling block. The driller's looking up. All he sees is the drill collar coming for him. He changed the brake down, manages to hold the brake down. The collar hits the doghouse, and this was an old, old doghouse. It took the whole front of the doghouse off, took the Martin Decker gauge off the panel in front of him, bounced up, and then fell into the cat heads. And it was just like, what the fuck was that? And no one could figure out what had gone wrong until the AD come around the corner, and he goes, "You boys needing these single joints?" These single joints. And that's when we realized what had gone on. And honestly, it was on night shift. We got the welder up. We had we had to jack the roof up, weld brackets up. We destroyed the doghouse. Destroyed it. We were so lucky that no one on the floor got hurt. And we were even luckier that the thing never went out the V door. If it got out, all the boys were on the catwalk.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know? And I didn't really realize what had happened until, a little bit later on when, oh, fuck. And that's when we realized we had that much gear up there. Malcolm Plain was the tool pusher. I got the nickname Splat after that for some reason. And
Splat.
he come up and goes, "What did you do that for?" I was like, "What do you mean, Malcolm? I didn't mean to do fuck all. It fucking happened, And so what we ended up doing was we worked it out. We had 6 different sizes of handling kit on the rig floor at the same time, using it all at different times within the same BHA, laid out a BHA. So what we ended up doing was there was no stop the job. It was if none of that shite. It was like, all right, just fucking get all the shite you're not using round the corner, get someone with a paint marker and mark them all the same color.
Yeah, make it work.
Get after it. But dude, that was my first couple of shifts on the rig floor, and we detonated. I mean, I detonated the doghouse, buddy. Detonated it. Fucking very lucky.
It doesn't get much better than that, I guess.
Well, yeah, I've done a few. I've been involved in a few.
I guess the main thing is no one got hurt.
Yes. Yeah.
I do.
Equipment you can replace that.
Yeah, exactly. We actually I had another one but again, I'm gonna remain nameless on where I was and whatnot. But what I can say is that particular operator, if we had done something, we would have been proper fucked. But we were pumping fucking crude as per usual, and the way the 1502 iron, the Chickson as you call it over in the States, was laid. We
call it Chickson all over the world, North Sea as well.
I normally call it 1502, but anyway, iron. But anyway, the way that the platform was leveled out, it was like it had sections and it kind of overlapped, and then there was like you could go, we ran it underneath this bit, so you wouldn't actually walk underneath it because you'd have to kind of get down on your knees and whatnot, and all. So it wasn't like a walkway or anything like that. But we were running our iron down there.
Why did you go all like get down on your knees?
I don't know. But anyhow, so we ran it underneath this place, and we were pumping crude one day, and we were losing pressures, and no one could work out why. So we were like, oh, maybe it's the pump. So stop pumping, check the pump over, and that pump's fine, blah blah blah. Carried on, same problem again. But one of the boys noticed that the tank was dropping in levels. So we went and we stopped pumping again, and then someone went, right, well, we're gonna have to do a proper line walk here. But it was really dark under this place, so this time the boy who went under with a torch. And basically, what had happened is
A flashlight, a torch is for something else.
Oh, a flashlight. Sorry, went under with a flashlight. Oh no.
Torches are for something else.
Get a flashlight. Went under with a flashlight, and this particular joint on this 1502, the seal had gone on it. So we'd been pumping I don't know how much crude all over this deck. Anyway, we were on our last one in there because we were shit. We were running a shit. Well, it was a shit show.
Yeah, no doubt you were. If you were pumping raw crude around rigs, yeah. Yeah,
no, we had to because we needed the heat in the fluid and whatnot. We were trying to get a hydrate out, funny enough, which was fucking thousands of meters down. And yeah, anyway. But anyway, that's we'll not go too far into that. But anyway, he went under and he came back out and he was like shell shocked. It was like one of them when he was like, oh my God.
How we have to stop. This one?
We have to stop now. And at that point, we were on our last straw. So myself and him went under, and we looked at it, and I went, "Oh, we're so fucked."
you know when some of these fuck ups. There's some really good people on rigs, right?
Yeah.
That are excellent at sorting out problems so that they're not problems.
Yeah, well, we had to do that on this one because we were on our final straw.
Yeah, so we fixed. You need them people around you.
Oh, we had to because we fixed the seal, put the seal back together, we got pumping again, and then I think between like four of us, we must have spent the best part of about 4 or 5 days cleaning up day by day
on the fly.
So you'd go under for like an hour and a half shift or 2 hours, tidy up all these things. But oil spill pads.
You guys must have been going to bed, waking up, going, "Oh my God, I wonder if they ever found anything in the daytime."
But it was going on for days, and because we had the rig, thank God the rig was massive,
and the whole place must have stunk of crude anyway.
So we'd have to go and put these bags in different bins all around the frickin'.
Not just throw them in the Ogden, just throw them in the sea.
Oh, we were at this for like days. It was like one of them. We were like, if we had been done for we would have been in big trouble. Like, yeah, proper big trouble.
You just reminded me of my. It's probably my biggest dumb fuck story. Okay. Sorry, you're done.
Yeah. I am now.
Done for now. You know when you're watching someone's lips move, but you're thinking of something completely else. Again, it comes back to you. Oh yeah, I've got it up. I'll forget that again. I need to keep it right.
I've got to get it out.
Well, I'm going to forget about it again. DF96. Chris Fassinger was the OIM. We need to get Chris on. We need to get Chris on.
Our mate Chris likes a good comment. Likes a good comment on the old
Chris is sound. Chris is dry. He's dry. He'd be a good one for you to get on the show. He did a show for the BBC. He'd be a good one, buddy. I'll speak to you after about Chris.
Yeah.
I'll speak to Chris and see if you really, he's dry sense of humour. Chris was the OIM and DF96. Just gone back to work. We were going off the rig, and I was going off the rig the next day, and so we were done that reverse short change. You know, we'd come on at midnight, and we were going to work until 6 a.m. Shower, shave. Well, I didn't think I could even shave then. I was that young. Shower, pack your bag on the chopper. So the rig's really small, we're drilling really slow. Wow, I'm in the shaker house, right? We're drilling slow. And it's like crumbles. Just crumbles are coming off the shakers. Nothing happening.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh. It was like take a weight at a viz every half an hour. That was the most exciting thing to do. Was I'm going to take a mud weight and do a viscosity check, and there wasn't even anything to clean. It was just shite, boring. So I don't know. I've come on. I must be 2 a.m, 3 a.m. I'm looking around the shaker house. I'm bored up to no good. You know what I'm saying? The camera's moving, isn't it?
That's not. That's not a good place to be.
No, and I started looking, and then them rigs you can in the shaker house. You look over the top of the shaker. You got gumbo shakers on top and normal shakers on the bottom. You just look over and you're in the moon pool. Okay, so just look over like that. You can see what's happening in the moon pool on them rigs. I found a tub of fluorescein. The dye, the mud dye.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go and get a polystyrene cup. I just half fills it. Where the curtains come off the shaker, they go down the trap, and we got seawater running. It's all over the side. There was none of this cuttings, recycling, clean. That was all straight, everything over the side. So I've got this cup of fluorescein, and it's foggy. It's foggy, okay. Not a breath of wind, okay. So I start just dropping little bits of this dye into the header box. Not the header box, the cutting chute. The whole cutting chute instantly goes green, and I'm like fucking sound. So I'm there for a dude. I'm like, who? I think one of the roughneck or rouse go, come and check this out. So fucking hell, give me. And he's having a go. So he does that cup in, goes against another cup, and I don't know how many cups, but it was a few. To the point that I finally switched my head on. I goes, oh fuck. Where's all that fluid? Where all that fluid going? So I looked over the top of the shakers, expecting to see the moon pool, fucking green, nothing, absolutely nothing. There was a wee bit of a wave, and I thought, oh, you beauty. So I start throwing more.
Oh,
I don't know, maybe a couple more cups,
James,
dude. Then I turns right and goes to the handrail. I didn't think it was possible to turn the North Sea green. Dude, the whole port side of the was fluorescent green. And I'm thinking, I panic. I shit myself. I was like, oh my fucking God, how am I going to... I got a hose pipe out.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because
You're trying to dilute the sea.
I thought I was going to dilute the ocean. Or at a minimum, I was going to break it up, get some movement going, get this stuff moving to the point that I got a pallet. Chucked a pallet in to try and make a big splash.
You chucked the pallet over the board?
Oh, fuck yes, right over the side. This was back in the day when pallets were good. So the pallet hit the water. Did fuck all. I don't know how deep this stuff had gone. So now I'm looking over and I start hearing this noise, this. This bang, bang, bang. And I'm, what the fucking hell? There's the pallet battering the leg. And the whole fucking rig's vibrating. Now, not only have I got a visual effect, I've now got sound effects as well.
Oh, God. So you might as well have just went round and told everyone then by this stage,
dude,
did you?
Honestly, it was that quiet. I obviously got rid of every piece of evidence possible. I got my story. There's no fucking way it was me. I don't know what. It must be the cementer. I was in full ready to lie mode, and I can remember for the next 3 hours, I was never off the handrail, and then I just a total stroke of luck. The wind got up a wee bit, the weather, weather, and dude, by the time daylight come, the only thing you could see was the leg. The leg was green. The leg had turned. But it was like, dude, talk about panic. And I am so fucked. How am I going to get out of this? You know, I shat myself. It was like.
It's quite funny, that panic though, isn't it? See, I've been in a couple of situations. And when you're like that, you proper do panic. Like, do you? You probably start thinking, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
That could be your title for this week. Fucking Driller Shack tries to dilute the sea.
You do proper panic, like, do you?
No, I was a roughneck. You know, I'm thinking run off, family name fucking ruined, fucking. Probably go to get the police involved. You think just all the worst, right?
Yeah, the worst. Yeah.
I don't know what would be worse at that time, actually getting done by the coppers or bollocking off a Chris passenger. Probably the coppers would be a better option. Cheers, Chris.
Oh man, that's freaking brilliant. Oh well, yeah. There you go. There's a few of them. Like
there's a shout out to Chris as well. Chris is a funny guy. Chris is a great boss.
I think someone else commented on one of the posts about him being
great
a boss. OIM.
Yeah, he was on. That's why you need to speak. It's all common. He did a program. Remember that I think it was called Disaster or something. BBC did it. It was real life disasters, and a jack up that he was towing got caught in a bad gale. He was one of the last off the rig. Oh, I think he was the second last off the rig because the barge engineer, he said, was the HLO, and it's him. And when the HLO got in the chopper, they basically took off, and it wasn't long after that she went down.
I think I've seen this somewhere.
The IO2, it's a documentary.
Yeah. I think I've seen that.
Chris is on it.
I think I've seen something about this.
But Chris is brilliant on the show. They can see he's dry as hell, and the presenter's trying to get a reaction out of him. Chris is just not having it.
Nothing.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Maybe I'll approach him, see what he says.
No, you should.
I bet he's one of them that goes, "Oh no, podcasts aren't my thing."
No, I don't know. Let me have a word with him.
Yeah,
he's got plenty to say on LinkedIn in comments.
Yeah, I
so
know.
It'd probably be a dry
comment,
it'd probably be a dry bastard, but that's your challenge.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
But honestly, he used to come up to the smoke shack on the DF96 when we would have a break, and honestly, he would leave there crying with laughter. The guy, it was dry, serious as hell, but once he started laughing, and the stories would come out, some great stories. You know, he's a real dino.
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 Oh, right, dino. Not sore, not dinosaur.
Yeah, as a
dinosaur. Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Dino. You've lost me there. Is that some kind of code?
No, it's not. No, never mind. I tell you what though, but this will be 2 weeks down the line. That OEUK podcast gets released tomorrow. I'm very interested to see the reception.
How did that go?
Good actually. They I'm not gonna lie, and this will be 2 weeks after it. Probably they've been working on this for about 3 years, so they know fine well. I think they're prepared they're prepared for what's coming.
I got a nice little bit out of it because I made a comment on when you posted, and I hope he's listening to this. Some prick decides to jump in and gets all detailed. You know these keyboard commandos that want to get all detailed on you. And he goes like, I think it was me or Driller Shack. He says, "You've lost the focus. It's nothing to do with helicopters. It's all about the winch." Bollocks, mate. It covers everything: the winch, chopper safety,
Yeah, he does.
baskets. It's everything.
He covers quite a few things.
So,
And
to that guy, fuck off.
You were dying to get that bit out, weren't you?
Yeah.
Before I carried on.
When I saw it wasn't, I was like, you beauty. Where's that post? He'll know who he is.
I'll have a look for it. But I've spoken to the guy who's kind of leading this worldwide as well. I'm going to get him on the show.
He's going to be Gulf of Mexico one. That'll be good.
I don't know how it'll apply over there. Obviously, they've got different rules themselves, but it does sound like the UK are going to start, and then
just got to get a bigger winch.
I think other nations will follow from, not just from speaking to Graham at OEUK, but from speaking to this guy that's kind of like the lead consultant, should I say, in this kind of field. And yeah, it sounds like it's not just going to be the UK. There's kind of.
But Bessie will be like, Halliburton, got to get a bigger winch.
Yeah. Got to fly your own Coast Guard choppers now.
Got to get a bigger winch.
Got to get your own Coast Guard. If you're coming out and you're overweight, you're paying for a bigger Coast Guard chopper.
Yeah, but it's encompassing a lot of things. It's not just that winch. It's
no, there's a few things. Lifeboats get spoken about in it as well.
Yeah, about getting out the chopper to the lifeboat, all that good stuff.
There's quite a few things in it, like but yeah, I guess released tomorrow, so I'm interested in see the reception from it. Like, yeah,
I think it'll be. I looked at the short, and then you got a bit of traction going with the short that you just put out. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out. Anyway,
I bet
that's a wrap.
Good.
Until the next one.
I've got drum practice.